So this is where I'm gonna be sitting till next Tuesday. And the day started so nice, right? Yesterday, of course, my battery died, so I couldn't finish my driving video. And actually, I had a replacement battery over here, but I think what happened was that that's my charger, very noisy. But what happened is that I think my SD card got filled up, because I saw I still had some battery left, but the Hero 8 just beeped a few times and died. But it was already 30 minutes after dark, and I knew that I wouldn't make it to. I wanted to get to Petro. There's a huge Petro truck stop just south of Toledo, right? But I was getting a bit anxious because it was already dark, and I have an oversized load. So I started looking for parking, and then I'm driving slow through some small town, which I later learned was called Clyde, Ohio. And yeah, not much happening over here. And I see a McDonald's, and I see behind there's some kind of a parking lot, and there's a truck. I see a Conestoga flatbed, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can park there, And I'm passing the McDonald's. All of a sudden, I see a sign that says "Truck Parking, McDonald's," and there's an arrow, and it has a picture of a semi truck. Some McDonald's locations, they have this. And so I go in there. It's very wide. I can even turn around and park with my, pretty long rig. And then I see a sign that says 1 hour only, no cleaning of trailers, no sweeping, whatever. So I go inside McDonald's and say, hey guys, I'm sorry, I know it's only 1 hour, but I have an oversized load. I'm not supposed to drive at night. Can you please let me stay till morning? And they say, oh yeah, that's mostly for people that clean their trash, in the parking lot. She says, we had some guys cleaning their trailers, leaving a bunch of debris in there. So if you're not doing any of that, you're fine. And so I ordered my customary 10 beef patties and had a nice late dinner. It was a very good location, so McDonald's, and then I was able to get free coffee in the morning. Fresh coffee in the morning, which is not as good as the one at Pilot, but so Pilot is for me number one. I like their coffee. Well, no, Starbucks is number one. Pilot is number two. Love's actually is number three. I think the worst coffee on the interstate is TA. I always feel, I don't like drinking that. And so that Clyde, Ohio, that's about 50 miles away from Perrysburg, Ohio, or Toledo, where my original destination, that big Petro Pilot, right? And they sent me on US 20. So we're just following US 20 with a couple of small detours. But from that Clyde, it was pretty much all straight US 20. And I'm driving, and then I'm close to Toledo. I stopped a couple of times to check my chains. And then I see some emails on my phone because, when I was leaving, like a good boy I am, I send them an update. I say, hey, update from SERGEI. Leaving Clyde, Ohio, will be in Port Huron later today. And so when I stop to check my chains, I see there's a bunch of emails all of a sudden and some missed calls because I was outside. And one of the emails, like I'm dealing with two brokers, right? As usual. When you deal with Landstar, they rarely have their own loads. They kind of like, they find a load from somebody else and then they just kind of like act as another intermediary. And so this particular guy was really unbelievable, because whenever I had like a question that he didn't have an answer to, he says, oh, call this guy. And he would tell me he told me the name of his broker. So, can you please call this guy? Like, I'm pretty sure you're charging something for this, because you hired me, right? My rate confirmation says Landstar, but he got this load from another company, from another broker, and so whenever there was a difficult situation, he would pass me, oh, I call that guy. And so I still didn't find anybody to wash the machine. They said, okay, now we're gonna reimburse you if you wash it. But the worst thing is that those emails on my phone when I was near Toledo, they said must cross in Buffalo, New York. And like a couple of emails, must cross in Buffalo, that Landstar broker was advised that the crossing is set up for Buffalo, and this load is ready to cross now. Like the 72-hour thing has been fulfilled. You can cross anytime. So I called him. I said, are you guys pulling my leg or what? I was sending you messages before I took this load. I said, I will be crossing in Port Huron. Please make sure Port Huron, Sarnia, Ontario is the crossing point. Okay. And then there's nothing on the rate confirmation about crossing via Buffalo, which is, of course, now I'm in Dundee. Now I stopped again, like for upteenth time to deal with this, and I said, guys, now I'm in Dundee, Michigan, Dundee, Dundee, Michigan, on Highway 23, US 23. I said, I just checked my distance from here. It's 550 kilometers, or what, 325 miles. And for me to go to Buffalo, first I have to reorder all my permits, and then there's extra miles. And the most important thing is, the only reason why I went this way is because there's a bunch of low bridges in New York, especially around Buffalo, and I am 14 feet 2 inches tall, and that's why I told you I'll be crossing in Port Huron. And then you saw on my email I said leaving shipper on the day before. I said leaving shipper will be in Port Huron next day, And so now he says, you must cross in Buffalo. And I just sent him a message. I said, that's a negative on crossing in Buffalo. We'll cross in Port Huron. And they said, oh, everything is set up for Buffalo. I said, guys, it's not my mistake, right? You made a mistake. I was communicating with you every day. Like the guy says, the rate confirmation says that the driver has to call not just once, but in the morning and then in the afternoon. And the company reserves the right, Landstar, to charge the driver a $50 fee for each call that is missed. I'm like, holy mackerel, these guys, really mean business. And so every morning I said, hey, I'll send you an update by email, okay? I'm not gonna call you, because email is much quicker, right? And so I email him. I arrived at shipper, loaded, leaving shipper, arrived here, arrived there, and this guy, okay. But so they like drivers to communicate with brokers, but brokers like fail to communicate with drivers, right? I said, if this was set up for Buffalo, why you didn't say so on the rate confirmation, right? Normally they say, hey, must cross in Buffalo, right there on the rate confirmation or in the invoice. They're telling you. And this guy admits, yeah, I made a mistake, but can you please cross in Buffalo? And I said, no, I'm gonna go to Port Huron. I'm gonna sit there. And I said, tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna start the clock. So I'll charge you $500 US for each day, so $1,500. And that's why my phone really exploded, and I have emails, texts, and calls, and well, we're sorry, we cannot pay you that. Why you cannot go to Buffalo? I said, are you in front of your computer? I said, look up Dundee, Michigan to Buffalo. I said, that's 325 miles. I'm not going back. And But they say, no, we cannot pay you that much. We cannot pay you $1,500. I said, okay, forget it. Just tell me what you can pay. And so we agreed on $500. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm sitting like an idiot till Tuesday for $500 because the Landstar broker failed to notify me where I'm supposed to cross. Because if I knew this from day one, right, I would not order permits for Ohio and Michigan. I would order permits for Ohio, PA, New York, and go in the opposite direction. It's just very unprofessional, but I'm not gonna work with this guy again. But what do you do? At least, you know, one good thing about Landstar is that my factoring company loves them. No issues factoring because they always prompt with payment. And so that's what's happening. So I'll be crossing Tuesday, and from here it's pretty far. I'm going to Montreal, Quebec, so from here it's pretty far. So I'll probably deliver, I don't know, Thursday, and then get back to Ontario probably Friday, because that my other customer still wants me to move that cat from the cat dealer to my yard. So basically wasting a bunch of time because of this. And the fuel here is 2.79 per gallon. Gas is 2.24. And I stopped here because this is a much bigger truck stop than that Marathon gas. And over here you see they have a double spots you see in the mirror. So I just pulled in. I'm occupying kind of like 1.5 spots, and I'm not in the way. Like there's a sidewalk to my right, so at least people can park only to my left. And I think I'm good sitting here. And then tomorrow, because it's 2.79 here, I know at Marathon gas in Marysville it's 2.39, so I can save 40 cents US per gallon. So if I get 100 gallons, it'll be $40. So I'm gonna drop the trailer tomorrow and just drive like 4 miles to Marysville and get fuel and get some Starbucks coffee. Maybe go inside that Meijer and get some groceries over there. And then I'm gonna talk to these guys over here, this Speedco. Because somebody is cleaning this property. I see that everything is super clean, right? Because I still have to find somebody to wash this machine. It's like there's chunks of dirt that are clearly visible behind the wheels. So I cannot clean it myself. But I know somebody is washing these, you know, the islands, the fuel islands, and so that's my goal. Before Tuesday, I have to find somebody with a pressure power washer to come over and clean this machine. So that's what's happening. And I have my Nordic walking sticks. So there's lots of opportunities here for that. So I'll be walking tomorrow, and I have my kettlebell. So we'll try to get some good exercise during this weekend. So thanks for watching, boys and girls. Be good. Enjoy your coming weekend. Ciao.